just spoke about construction. As it relates to construction, the sector has all but ground to a halt. Just before we entered the COVID period, 90% of our workforce at Jada Construction was sent on layoff. We have the Preconco group, who tends to be one of the more productive groups on the island, also engaging in discussions towards layoffs. And you would have heard during the COVID period, shortly after being given the approval to restart work, engaged in salary and wages cuts, unilateral salaries and wages cuts. This meant that for the union, we found ourselves in a dispute with that company. That dispute has resulted in us coming to a position that would see the workers, yes, being restored their money, but that still does not address the issues surrounding construction, because although the workers are scheduled to receive back the money that was taken from them, the prospects of them being able to work through the remainder of this year is looking very bleak. And the company is signaling to us that they may have to reduce the workforce. That again will see us having further discussions. This plays out for almost every major construction company on the island. Despite the promises that construction would be one of the drivers of our economic recovery, we are yet to see this. So for us in the industrial relations, that is one of the key areas that we are grappling with. So you add the construction workers to the hotel workers, who are all on the NIS system and also are running towards the end of their tether as well. Retail space, and I'm going to speak specifically in the retail space, the supermarket chains. We all saw, and you guys covered very extensively, the significant lines outside of grocery stores during the period, the extensive runs on supermarkets, the owners of these institutions calling for extended hours of operation. You saw them canceling people's ability to call in orders because they were overwhelmed. In less than 1 month after that period, we in the Industrial Relations Department are inundated with letters and correspondence from the major players in this sector, all seeking to reduce staff.
Name them.
And I'm going to name them, yes, of course. In terms of those, we have the Massey chain, seeking to reduce their numbers significantly. We have the Emerald City. Well, they've started the process, and we believe that more is in train. So there's still discussions as it relates to the Massey group. We have the Emerald City and Carlton supermarkets, who have a number of staff that have not been re-engaged and are seeking to reduce their staff complement by almost 100 people. But yet still have lines outside of their businesses and are claiming that part of the reason for this is their inability to return to normal hours. We all know that normal hours for supermarket operations is now solely and wholly in the hands of the owners of these businesses. But yet, they are still seeking to operate on reduced models, thereby funneling the workforce into these businesses at hours which, for many, are now not convenient, because we have the entire government workforce and many private businesses returning to 8 to 4 and 9 to 5 jobs, facing the supermarket industry that still shuts down by 6 o'clock on the evening without any explanation. But they are saying that they need to cut staff. They've also claimed that persons in the hotel sector are laid off and thereby their customer base is down. I believe that, like all of us during COVID, we've only experienced 7 deaths. So therefore I believe that everybody in the hotel sector was still being able to purchase and garner and supply themselves with at least basic food items, which were all being purchased through the supermarket chains. So we need to get explanations from these particular retailers as to how you could have had such a large increase in influx in business only to result in you turning on your staff, who we were all praising for giving such yeoman service, and then reward them by having them sent home. In finance, the banks are not left out. We have received correspondence from 2 commercial banks that they will not be reopening branches going forward. So we have the CIBC and Republic Bank indicating that they're not reopening some of their locations. In one of those banks, in the CIBC arrangement, we will have losses of jobs. Republic Bank, I must say, have been able to place all of their staff who have been displaced by the decision. But the banking sector, that's 2 so far, and we anticipate that the banking sector is poised to make further changes, as this operation has obviously taken a significant hit in terms of deferred payments. So we are again in discussions with the banking sector and looking very closely with our team of delegates to see what the future holds for the banking sector. Likewise within the credit union movement as well.